Think about how you would feel if you were a young star suddenly forced into the limelight before you could tie your shoes. For Marie Osmond, that was life. As the only female out of 8 brothers, Marie knew from a young age that being an entertainer came with its own share of pressures. Insisting on a specific appearance, demand for faultless performance. Marie fought eating problems and issues with body image despite her hectic schedule and the relentless scrutiny she felt. But there were darker secrets hiding under all the glitter and smiles. The trauma of physical abuse that would leave a lasting impression on her. Rumors and whispers regarding her private life, relationships, and family began to circulate afterwards. Over many years, the reality eluded discovery. But the daughter of Marie Osmond is now speaking up. Is it possible that she has information that might put an end to the long-running rumors about her mother? Find out the truth by watching until the end. Not every aspect of Marie's childhood was idyllic. It was a complicated tapestry stitched together with strands of thrilling achievement, the bittersweet pain of unfulfilled expectations, and an intense desire for approval. Marie Osmond came into this world in 1959 in Ogden, Utah. She wasn't welcomed with a nursery adorned with pink ribbons like most infants. Jimmy Osmond and her 8 older brothers made for a bustling family, and she decided to join them instead. They were deeply committed Mormons, and music seemed to permeate every aspect of their household. The 4 brothers Alan, Wayne, Merrill, and Jay were a barbershop quartet, and they were enchanting audiences long before Marie could walk. The Osmond family would soon be moving to Los Angeles as a result of their popularity on The Andy Williams Show in the 1960s. Marie had her own taste of stardom when she was just 4 years old. The constant glare of the cameras and lights on The Andy Williams Show was not something she had become used to. They appeared out of nowhere, dazzling everyone. A watershed moment came with that TV appearance. Marie spent her days rehearsing, recording, and under continual pressure to do faultless performances, while her peers played with block towers and painted pictures with their fingers. The carefree days of my youth were like something out of a faraway dream, supplanted by the dogged quest for public favor. Because of her fast-paced life, she lost years of her childhood innocence and had to grow up too quickly. Missed playing time was just one of many costs associated with stardom. A need to please everyone was ingrained in Marie from her early fame. Her aspirations and needs started to take a back seat to her incessant need for approval from others. Performer and people-pleaser became one and the same, making things look unbalanced and intimidating. Marie sought comfort in her brother's company despite her hectic schedule and the demands of fame. She enlisted the help of Donnie, her slightly younger brother, as a criminal accomplice. Marie wrote about them in her book Behind the Smile, My Journey Out of Postpartum Depression. Together, they added a little cheeky delight to their otherwise ordered lives. Upon returning to Utah, when the cameras were out of the Osmond house, life returned to usual. The music that filled their home served as a continual reminder of their mutual love and the unbreakable link that bound them together. There were many difficulties Marie Osmond faced as a youngster, but the demands of the entertainment business were particularly hard. Osmond revealed her history of childhood sexual abuse in her 2001 biography. She did not identify the attackers but did say that they were not personal or professional acquaintances and that the abuse happened in several episodes, even in places where she thought she would be secure. Her mental health was negatively impacted by this maltreatment even as an adult. In 2019, Osmond discussed her struggles with self-doubt regarding her sexuality on the talk show The Talk, saying that she had developed a profound aversion to and discomfort with men as a result of the assault. Marie was already a celebrity in the 1960s, but as the 1970s arrived, her star began to shine even brighter. As the pop sensation The Osmonds, she and her brothers Alan, Wayne, Merrill, Jay, Donnie, and Jimmy reached unprecedented heights of popularity. They won over listeners all across the globe with their infectious songs and charisma. Following in the aftermath of their success with a string of top 10 singles and adoring fans, a fascinating opportunity presented itself to Marie during this whirlwind of celebrity. Is it possible that she may also succeed as a solo performer? The record label owners appeared persuaded. Their attention was captivated by her strong vocals and indisputable charisma on stage. She seemed like a future superstar. So Marie dove headfirst into country music, which is known for its patriotic lyrics and strong female characters. It provided a rare combination of traditional values and artistic expression, in her opinion. Even though she was only a preteen, Marie entered a recording studio in Nashville with the poise of an experienced performer. As part of her extensive preparation, she had committed 9 songs to memory, including the legendary Coat of Many Colors by Dolly Parton. This first session of recording was pivotal. Veteran MGM Records executive Dawn Ovens was utterly enthralled by her abilities the moment she heard her perform, promptly landing her a recording contract as a solo artist. Following that, progress was rapid. When Marie was just starting out, her father was a major influence, since he co-produced her albums with the legendary country music producer Sonny James. Marie and her mother traveled to Nashville in June 1973, the center of country music, where Marie's strong voice gave life to the songs she had memorized. The game-changing tune Paper Roses was one of the tracks. After its August 1973 release, it quickly became the #1 country song in the United States and Canada. Most astonishing of all, it reached #2 in the UK and climbed to #5 on the US Hot 100. The following month, Marie's debut album cemented her fame when it soared to the top of the US Country Albums chart. Marie Osmond became the youngest female country musician to ever have a #1 debut single, all at the age of 13, and she shocked the music business. This was more than just a hit, it was a turning point in her life and career that would have far-reaching effects. However, the success extended beyond a single hit. The 1974 and 1975 follow-up singles, In My Little Corner of the World and Who's Sorry Now, were critically acclaimed, respectively, solidifying her position as a prominent figure in the realm of country music. It wasn't just Marie's meteoric climb to stardom either. Even her brother Donnie, who had become a teenage music idol, had gone solo and achieved tremendous success. It all started with a seemingly harmless recording session in 1974. Because Donnie was having trouble reaching the highest note in the song I'm Leaving It All Up to You, Marie was sent to rescue him. Their debut single as a duo, Donnie and Marie Osmond, shot to the top of the charts, penetrating the US Hot 100 and solidifying their status as a formidable musical force. In 1976, Marie became the center of attention. Donnie and Marie, a network variety show, was launched by Marie and her brother Donnie. They become a staple in many homes due to their endearing good looks and contagious enthusiasm. But beneath all the cheerful faces and infectious music, a more sinister truth was simmering. Studio executives once took Marie aside and gave her a scathing assessment of her physical appearance. The tone was severe. The performance would be canceled unless you lose 10 pounds. Marie, who was already 103 pounds at the time, was heartbroken when she was accused of being a shame to her family and set out on a perilous course of action. She committed herself to a rigorous routine of starvation, driven by dread and severe judgment. She later admitted that she would fast for 3 days prior to recording, subsisting just on lemon water, cayenne pepper, and maple syrup. Even while she performed, Marie's weight dropped to a perilous 93 pounds and she battled tiredness. Behind the scenes, Marie had to deal with more than just her weight reduction. Carl Engelman, the new manager of the Osmond children, took over in 1976 and finally focused only on Marie's career. Although they got off to a cordial start in their professional relationship, Marie severed ties with Engelman in 2009 after she accused him of numerous instances of unprofessional behavior and betrayal of trust. Donnie and Marie's popularity skyrocketed despite all of this drama behind the scenes. With their contagious enthusiasm and musical skills, the twins enchanted millions of families every week. The memorable line, "I'm a little bit country and I'm a little bit rock and roll," from their debut song became ingrained in popular culture and solidified the public's perception of them as being completely innocent. Marie and Donnie frequently put in 18-hour days backstage preparing for choreography, changing costumes and scripts. Nevertheless, Marie was resolute in her pursuit of education and managed to fit in 3 hours of on-set tutoring every day, despite the demanding schedule. With their 1978 feature picture debuted in Go in Coconuts, the siblings broadened their audience reach. It was unfortunate that the film bombed at the box office. However, Marie achieved success later that year with the TV movie The Gift of Love. Based on a traditional tale by O. Henry, it told the account of a young couple. Marie continued to be selective about the parts she took on despite her emerging acting career. The part of Sandy in Grease was too daring for her, so she famously declined the part. After a few name changes, Donnie and Marie became known as the Osmond Family Hour. The show ended in 1979. Marie, ever the star, would swiftly find new projects and challenges to tackle, but this signified the end of an era. A solo variety program called Marie premiered in 1980, marking Marie's courageous foray into solo performance. Unfortunately, there were just 7 episodes of the venture, but she was unfazed by this setback. Marie was unfazed and decided to take on the musical theater scene head-on. She made her big screen debut in 1994, playing the legendary role of Maria Von Trapp in the film. It was no easy task to step into the shoes of the late, great Julie Andrews, but critics were quick to recognize and applaud her for giving the iconic part a new dimension of charisma and heart. In 1997, Marie revived her career on Broadway with a performance of The King and the First, continuing her string of successful theatrical appearances. After winning over audiences in a character that many saw as safe, like Maria in The Sound of Music, Marie's breadth was on full display in her portrayal of the strong-willed Anna Lenowens. Her ensuing national tour proved her success went well beyond Broadway as critics gushed over her performances. In 1997, she reunited with Donnie for a syndicated revival of Donnie and Marie, according to her belief in the lasting strength of sister bonds. Their unmistakable chemistry was on full display throughout the show's successful run, which ended in the year 2000. Marie, who was always up for a new challenge, wanted to try something completely different. Her Salt Lake City, Utah-based radio chat show Marie and Friends premiered in 2004. She viewed radio as a medium that would allow her to be close to her family, while also allowing her to pursue her career and enjoy parenting. On the air, Marie delivered her signature charm and wit, assuring listeners of a good time that wouldn't veer too far into the blue. However, the show was canceled after only a year, despite its original promise. In 2007, however, she found herself in the limelight for a very different cause thanks to an unforeseen development. Marie wowed viewers with her dance talents after joining the lineup of Dancing with the Stars, but misfortune befell just a few weeks into the season. Marie was clearly exhausted and attempting to regain her composure when she fell on stage during a live performance. "It occurs occasionally when I feel tired," she admitted with a hint of shame. There, in that moment of weakness, the brutal truth struck. The relentless speed of her life and the burden of years of worry had worn her down. She had put on 40 pounds and was now fighting for her health as much as her score. However, her oldest son sincerely begged her to listen. "It would mean a lot to me if you could be there for my kids, Mom." She was energized by that. Marie set off on a new path with the help of Nutrisystem, a weight loss firm, in her quest to regain her health. She decided to live a healthy life. Viewers of Dancing with the Stars saw a remarkable change as the weeks went by. She continued her success, losing 13 more pounds, and had reduced an astonishing 27 pounds by the show's finale. Marie Osmond emerged from the ordeal that had the potential to ruin her career stronger and more energetic than before. Those in charge at CBS noticed her metamorphosis. Plus, she scored a highly sought-after co-hosting role on the hit daytime talk show The Talk in 2019. It felt like she had discovered a new way to exhibit her contagious enthusiasm. I was surprised by how brief her stint on The Talk was. Marie announced her resignation in 2020 after only one season, saying she wanted to spend more time with her family. Even while representatives from the network lauded her work and the impact she had on the show, rumors persisted that her departure was not totally voluntary. The co-hosts, Sharon Osbourne and Cheryl Underwood, allegedly sent a death threat to the producers, demanding that Marie leave the show. The reason behind Marie's resignation remains largely unknown since CBS denied the allegations. A rush of feelings, relationships, and tragedies characterized Marie's private life, even as her professional life flourished. In 1979, before she settled down, she had a brief engagement to acting student Jeff Creighton. The brief infatuation, however, quickly faded, and the engagement was soon broken off. Andy Gibb, the captivating singer, was the object of a short but passionate affair that same year. In 1981, Marie's romantic life included even John Schneider, star of Dukes of Hazzard. However, Marie's quest for love appeared to come to a halt in 1982. She had an impulsive romance that led to her marriage to Steve Craig, a Brigham Young University basketball player. With the birth of their son, Stephen James Craig Jr., in 1983, their delight was magnified. Unfortunately, the couple's marriage ended in divorce in 1985 due to the couple's inability to handle the demands of fame and young children. Record producer Brian became Marie's new love a year later, when she was much older and wiser. In a small, intimate ceremony, the two exchanged wedding vows. Their love tale was crafted through the pure delight of a child. They were already blessed with 2 biological children, Rachel and Matthew, and they added 5 more into their family through adoption: Abigail, Michael, Brandon, Brianna, and Jessica. There was a period when life seemed full and finished. Another chapter closed in 2007 with the breakdown of Marie and Brian's marriage, which had lasted 21 years. Despite the intense public interest in the divorce, the couple issued a joint statement in which they denied any responsibility for the split. Afterwards, Marie made it clear that she had no desire to get married again. Nevertheless, fate had other ideas, and in a plot twist straight out of a Hollywood film, Marie was able to reconcile with her first husband, Steve Craig, thanks to a meeting arranged by their son. Rekindled feelings from a long-lost love led to a 2-year clandestine courtship until they came clean to the world about their romance. Keeping with tradition, Marie wore the same garment from her first marriage to Steve in 1982 when she remarried him in 2011. After a second marriage, you come to learn that some things you once believed were really essential aren't, she pondered. There were obstacles along Marie's path as a mother. The baby blues, a common sensation of sadness experienced by new mothers, had hit her with the births of her first 6 children. But Marie fell into a profound struggle with postpartum depression with the birth of her son Matthew in 1999. She drove away from her children, completely drained and upset, clinging to the almost impossible conviction that they would be better off without her. After getting back to her house, she got the diagnosis and assistance she had been praying for. There was one thing that was evident throughout. There were no limits to Marie's love for her kids. When she found out her daughter was a lesbian, she loved and supported her without condition. She made it clear that she loved her children just as much as God loves all of His children. May each person find fulfillment and joy in living their life to the fullest. Motherhood, with all its ups and downs and constant love, had become Marie Osmond's life's driving force. Time and again, it seemed like life was out to test Marie's mettle. A frightening health concern sparked a furious rumor mill and hospitalization. Alleging a botched suicide attempt, tabloids eagerly seized the opportunity to sensationalize the situation. An adverse reaction to medication was the only explanation given by Marie's agents, who strongly refuted the allegations. Years later, though, Marie would admit to Oprah Winfrey that she had considered suicide while suffering from postpartum depression. Her resilience and the understanding that her loved ones relied on her enabled her to resist those sinister desires. In 2010, Marie's son Michael Blossel committed suicide, which was the most tragic blow. That young man had just turned 18. For a while, Michael had battled depression, which brought on feelings of profound loneliness and hopelessness. Marie was faced with a mother's worst fear after her life crumbled due to his demise. In 2014, tragedy struck once more. Unfortunately, it was the 7-year-old grandniece of Marie Mortensen who was killed. The girl's life was tragically cut short when an errant trailer door slammed on her. The tragic event brought up painful memories of Marie's son's death, which reopened old scars for her. A never-ending barrage of problems seemed to befall the Osmond family. Marie said in 2019 that her brothers had several near-death experiences. Donnie had to have surgery, Jimmy had a stroke, and Tom needed a quadruple bypass. In the face of these insurmountable obstacles, Marie's steadfast faith shone brightly, providing solace and resilience to her family. Still, Marie discovered reasons to rejoice despite everything that was going on. Tears welled up in her eyes as she described the unfaltering love her children had bestowed upon her in an emotionally wrenching conversation. A mother's pride washed over her when she saw her youngest daughter Abigail's tender, sincere displays of love. Marie treasured these priceless moments because after suffering so much pain, she knew that her 8 children were her greatest achievements. The success of Marie's children and grandkids has brought her delight despite the demands of her work. She is concerned about the effects of social media and wishes her loved ones to prioritize face-to-face relationships over online approval. Her children, who are a blend of biological and adopted parents, have all turned out to be wonderful people who are just like their mom. For all the ups and downs and awkward moments that come with being a mother, Marie wouldn't change a thing. Her children have been her rock through the inevitable storms of life, providing her with strength, purpose, and an unbreakable link. We have now covered all there is to know about Marie Osmond's remarkable life. Her life is a roller coaster of stardom, tragedy, and perseverance. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe if you love this in-depth look. Make sure you never miss an update by turning on alerts.